Hi guys. So oh, that's where that blanket is. Trying to figure out where all that stuff was. So I'm going to give it a couple minutes. We're going to do, oh, hi there. Hello, Mr. Drew. We are going to do a live chat, la, la, la. Just answering a couple questions that I've gotten on Facebook. Hello, Miss Susan. And seeing what other interesting things we can talk about this evening. So, since I'm going to make this a shorter live chat, as you guys know, I have Renfest tomorrow, so I've got to get to bed at a decent hour. Didn't do makeup tonight. I apologize in advance. It's all right. So that being said, the first question that I got, which is not where I wanted to look, is what would be my dream job in Disney? So, and thank you for the early like, whoever did that. I appreciate it. Dream job in Disney. I'm going to say, okay, so there's a serious answer and there's a not so serious answer. So my serious answer is probably one of being a friend of somebody, being one of the body puppets. While you do see some of the worst of people, you also see some of the best of people. And I kind of adore that. Pardon me, I'm just trying to pull up my page. Why can I not see? There we go. I just want to get this up here so I have this. There we go. Okay. So yes, we are on live. Good. So that would be the serious question. Of course, yeah. I mean, I'm a theater person, so that is my nature, is to want to entertain. No, not an assistant to a character. I want to be their friend. I want to be the friend of Mickey or the friend of Ariel or whatever, which for those of you who know Disney speak is the actual character, playing that character. I'm a performer by nature, so I mean that would be easier. The other thought I really had was to be they don't do it anymore, but they used to do it in Italy and they used to do it in England, and it was one of my favorite things. I actually had a friend who did it for a while, and it was SAC Theater. For those of you who don't know, the SAC Theater Company came in and did these improv shows in the streets of those countries, and then Disney took their material and kept doing it. But yeah. Hello, whoever the last person is who came in. Nice to see you. Or nope, they left. Never mind. We're going to do fine without them. So I adored those shows. They made me incredibly happy and were wonderfully entertaining, where you brought people out. It's sort of what I already have done, like with Mustard Seed. I bring people out of the audience to play characters with a storyline, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. It's an absolute hoot. Let me see if I can do this here rather than why is that doing that? I don't want to see that. I want to see this. That's better. Here, I thought you wanted to be a behind the scenes tour guide. Know it all. I like the stories and the tours. I just don't know if that would be my joy place. There's a lot more I'd have to learn. I am, if you're talking about really being someone in the know for Disney, no. I mean, I know some. I know a chunk. I've been on some of those tours, but to know who everybody is in all of the windows going down Main Street, no, I don't have that information. So it would be a big learning curve, and it would be fun. But I like performing. I like the energy that you get from that kind of live interaction with people. You get another one for you. Yes, that is true. You would learn all of the history. Susan says, I wouldn't mind being a tour guide, history buff that I am, or I'd like to drive one of the boat shuttles. Oh, see, boat shuttle driving would be fun. I would get sick as a crazy person because I just get too nauseated from that, I have motion sickness, so the joy of, I'm going to adjust this. You really don't need to see my hallway. So it wouldn't be a whole lot of good for my stomach, but hey, what the hell. But I would, yeah, I could see the tour guide being fun. There's a part of me would be curious to be an Imagineer, to come up with show ideas, do the writing or the creating process. But I absolutely love the performance side of it. I can't even read what's being said there. I have no idea what that word is, so can't help you. The other question I had that I was asked to answer was, here's another one, is which character would you play? So if I was a friend of somebody, if I was a friend of Mickey or a friend of, any of those other people, what character would that be? Hold on a second. That's what I needed there. I would be, and I kind of toss it out between this. Do I want to be a face character that gets to speak, or do I want to be in the body puppets like I used to do at Great Adventure? And because years ago I worked for Great Adventure here up in New Jersey, not here in New Jersey, but farther up in New Jersey, and there you could either be a character clown, painted on face and walked around doing interactions with people, or you did the meet and greets standing in a place or walking to a place and standing it, being Bugs Bunny, Foghorn Leghorn, Sylvester, Daffy Duck. I believe I was Daffy once. I was Bugs Bunny a few times. It's challenging. It is not an impossibility, but it is challenging. Oh, well, I can't help them teaching. If I don't know what the word is that they want me to translate, I don't speak either Greek or Russian or whatever language that was, but oh well. I just did a timeout, so if they do come back, then hey, we can talk to them later. If they have Disney things or Universal things or Orlando things they want to throw in. So I've been struggling about this. What character would I want to be? If I didn't have to care about fitting into the costume, because that's the big thing, is my body type would not fit in pretty much any of the costumes, and you have to be a specific shape, type, weight, physique to be any of them. I think probably the only one I could fit in would be the fairy godmother, and even that I think I'm too tall for. But if I were to do, if I didn't care, Tigger, T-I-double-G-R, I love his energy, the character's energy. I self-identified with Tigger for years growing up. They don't have a Nemo one, so I can't be Nemo. That's the other thing I might want to do, is to do the Finding Nemo show. Be one of the people in there. I just can't do like the flips and things that the actual Dory and Nemo characters do, but like one of the street physical body ones down on the ground, that would be kind of cool. Fish are friends, not food. That would be excellent. I would enjoy that. I could see you doing yeah, and I could definitely do one of the stepsisters. Unfortunately, at my age, I would probably be hired as the stepmom, but even still, fun. Or, oh my God, to play Snow White's queen over at Storybook Dining over at Wilderness Lodge now. And just do 3 hours of being very pompous, and that would be funny. Storybook would be a heck of a lot of fun, So there are a number of different personalities I could see myself doing. I could see myself having fun with. Is that, I don't know. I mean, like I said, stage show is probably my first choice of what I would want to do. Then something like the character meet and greets. Because the character meet and greets, you are standing and not moving a lot. And I know my body does not like to do that as much as it used to. It's not an impossibility, but I do know that it would not be fun. Disney Imagineer. Yep, long hours, hard work, but decades of audiences to see and judge your work. Yeah. And I could see you wanting to be an engineer, an Imagineer, excuse me, Drew. Actually, well, Susan, since you threw that question back to me, what would you like to be? What would be your dream job? Is it that tour guide? And if you were a character, what would it be? I'm curious. If someone has just joined us, you're welcome to say hello. We are talking about questions I received about Orlando travel and Disney and Universal. So if you have a question about one of those things that you would like my feedback and thoughts on, please throw them out. Please be aware, I am not a travel agent. I am not an official of any way, shape, or form with Disney. I am just someone who really loves the parks. I have been going every year for the last 11 years during the Christmas season and a couple other times in amongst there, as well as times before then. And I am a sponge and suck up knowledge as much as I can. So, like I said, if there's something you want some thoughts on, some feedback on, some opinions about in terms of Disney, Universal, or Orlando in general and traveling to Orlando, etc., throw them out and and we will just chat because it's fun. And what do we got here? I believe we just, yeah, I figured as much. I gave him a 3-minute timeout, and if he got frustrated or left, that's fine. He may have been asking a legitimate question, but it's not something I could help him with. So we do have somebody else here, so I'm not sure who else joined us. Now, Drew, you said you would be an Imagineer. Is there a specific part of the Imagineering that you would do? Is it music? Is it building roller coasters? Is it, what aspect? Because all of those people are Imagineers. Joe Rohde, from initial concepts to the people who are painting and building the sets, they are all Imagineers. So what aspect of that are you looking at? Susan said, I already share lots of trivia whenever I'm there, so I probably like the tour guide role. Yep, character. Sadness. Oh yes, sadness is short. I would probably want to do joy, but sadness would be a lot of fun. I've seen a number of people do interactions with sadness, and sadness joy is the happy character who's just there. Sadness is the one who will get you to laugh or cry, just because of the choices. And Pluto is another one that is really good at getting you laughing. But I still love Tigger. So yeah, tour guide role, character, sadness, or Donald. Donald would be, see, I would love to do Daisy if I was going to do one of them. Donald is fine. Well, all right, so here's the thing. When I did Bugs Bunny years ago, one of the things that I noticed was when you're playing a male character in the body puppet, they don't know what gender you are inside. And this was way before gender politics became such a big discussion. They all thought in that costume I was a guy. I had hips. Don't know why they thought that, but I was a guy. My favorite memory, and for those of you who know how I'm built, you will find this hysterically funny. Bugs is a guy, so I start flirting with the girl that's standing in this group of people. Well, the guy who's the couple, the other half of this couple, was like, hey, no, why are you hitting on my girlfriend? No. All right, give me a hug, and goes to hug me. Well, my guard and I look at each other like, oh gosh, because I am decidedly female. And I hug him, and he went, nah, it's a guy. I was like, and I just through the mask of the Bugs mask, I made eye contact with my guard, and she was doing everything she could not to burst out in hysterical laughter. Cause. So we were greatly amused by that. What have we got here? Yeah, I think sadness. Yeah, sadness is, joy is very approachable, but she's big. She's making those big movements, and she's arms in the air, and she's, that kind of, but sadness makes you come to her. I think that's what you're thinking of. Joy comes to you, sadness you come to. And she'll come to you. I mean, like I said, I've seen the person inside sadness do some very clever, very fun things. Walking up sadly to something, is still funny. So it's a lovely dynamic. It's kind of cool to play. Good question. Yes, I'm thinking about the world designers. So creating concepts for the worlds, I'm assuming. Of course, there are those who do all the designs of each animatronic, true. Those develop the food menus for the restaurants, those who do all the sound effects. I love the idea of the music, but I don't want to turn true love into work. Yeah, understood. Oh, so we were talking earlier about what job that I would want to have. Did I tell you what my non-realistic choice of job would be? I would like to be a food taster for planning menus at Victorian Alberts. They need one of those, don't they? They could, just someone who goes there every day, tastes all the food, says, make this way. I like that one. Make more. It's always fun. I have no idea what a Joe version of a mic is. I am using a Logitech, if that helps at all. My friend who was a friend of, and he couldn't say who he played, but he did say she was lovely. Oh, interesting. So he was inside the full body puppet as a friend of somebody. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, they can say they're a friend of so-and-so. They're allowed to do that. My friend who works at Universal was a friend of Green Goblin for quite a while, actually, amongst all of his assorted entertainments. So he's so yeah, I mean, and I don't know that they actually call that. They didn't talk about it. You can kind of under your breath say, this is what I do. But you generally didn't say it in the same way that Disney has that sort of lexicon of I'm a friend of, to be able to tell people what you're doing, I love that stuff. So I don't. Do you guys have any more questions on Disney stuff? Why am I on pause? I don't need to be on pause. Go back to live. Let me know in terms of Universal stuff. Like I said, I was going to make this a shorter one. I just wanted to make sure that I'm still, giving you guys some good content. Uh, my favorite snack at Walt Disney World. Well, the obvious answer is Dole Whip, because Dole Whip. I even have a Dole Whip hat. I don't buy many things that are screamingly Disney. I have a Dole Whip hat. I have a weakness for the les glaciers? Les Artisans des Glaces. It's the ice cream, the gelato / ice cream style shop in France. They make a gluten-free macaron ice cream sandwich, and they have a seasonal flavor that comes out pretty regularly. I have had the peppermint, the pumpkin, and the strawberries and cream. Of the three, I think the peppermint was my favorite, but the pumpkin was amazing because it was really, truly pumpkin flavored. Really just exceptional. Hey there. Oh, tachos. See, I don't know if I can have the tachos because the fryer. I don't know if they're safe for gluten-free. For some reason, I didn't think they were. Because, yeah, that would be lovely to try. I would love to. I used to grow up loving little tater tots. They made me happy as a kid. Jay's story was there were rules against him disclosing it, maybe due to the... Gotcha. So he may have been afraid. Well, you said she. So, yeah. I wonder if... Do you know how tall or short was Jay? I'm curious. I like the traditional Dole Whip. I have not tried the other flavors yet, Susan. I am curious to try the strawberry, not strawberry, I don't like strawberry, the raspberry pineapple blend, the one that's like the swirl that they do. I really would have loved to have gotten the Hey Hey cone when that was out. It was raspberry on top and pineapple on the bottom, and it had like white chocolate eyes. So it looked like Hey Hey, the chicken from Moana. And I do have a soft spot for Alan Tudyk, so, you have to Hey Hey when you get a chance. You beam when you have Dole Whip. I know I love Dole Whip, I admit it. But see, now I usually don't get straight Dole Whip. I get the Dole Whip float over the pineapple juice. And yes, I do. Because I get it very infrequently. I can get it, actually, for those of you living in the Maryland area, you can actually get it at Nando's Peri Peri. They have Dole Whip now. It is not the same as getting it at Disney. You're not having it over pineapple juice, which is sad. But I do love it. You didn't see me as I got my peppermint ice cream macaron sandwich. You saw me as I was finishing it, I believe. No, maybe I saved it till I got there. Other snacks. No, those are my sweet snacks. My salty snack, it's a lot harder because a lot of the salty snacks in Disney are going to be gluten-filled products. No. There's one other thing that will outbeat the Dole Whip, but it's not as easy to get. Gluten-free churros. It's not a snack credit snack. It's a full-on like appetizer-y, dessert-y snack, but gluten-free churros over at Tiffins in Nomad's Lounge with the vanilla crema and the strawberry chili sauce. Normally, I do not like strawberry. I really like that strawberry chili sauce, and because it does have a nice burn to it, and you mix that with the crema, and you do both in the. Oh my god, it's so good, so good. Makes me happy. Oh, did you say churros in the bottom there? Okay, wait, let me go back. Restaurants, menus, there you go. All right, so we're talking about you squee, glow, and melt when you gluten-free churros. Okay, yes, you're right. I do squee and melt and dance for joy when I have churros. So yes, you were right. He did play a she, so he's got to be. I'm wondering which she he played. I mean, it could be Minnie. It could be, because I'm assuming it was a full-body puppet character. But is he short? Is Jay short? I'm curious. Rather petite. So yeah. So my guess is yeah. Yeah, that's probably okay. Very cool. That's very neat. The Hey Hey one did look pretty yummy. The Up one with the mango Dole Whip looked pretty good, Susan. They keep coming up with new ones. They have a Peter Pan one that's like Sprite with lime Dole Whip, which I'm curious to try because that would be kind of nice and not too sweet. The Citrus Swirl is orange and cream. I'm not super fond of orange with all that stuff, so I don't know how well I would take that. It just wouldn't grab me as much, but I would like to try that. Oh, the caramel apples in Germany. I have never had one of those, though. I really, really do love the what do I get there? Just the big square caramels, the dark chocolate. I wish to God that they would stop putting the salt on top of every darn caramel everywhere. I buy it and then I break all the sea salt off of it so I can actually have a caramel. I don't need the salt. You know, I can have water with electrolytes in it. I don't need to have salt in my caramel. I'm sorry, that's a personal peeve. I understand people like it. I'm also the kind of person that when I make chocolate chip cookies, I do not add salt. Whoever believes that, it makes it sweeter. No, it makes it taste like salt. Maybe I'm just hypersensitive on salt, but salt. Okay, that was my opinion, and I'm going to sit by it. All right, so I have an Nando's block away from your office. Oh yeah, and it's not just like a one thing of it. You can keep going back and getting more, Susan. Probably shouldn't have told you. You may be in trouble now, but yeah, I will do the one by where I live, and yeah, I will get 2, maybe 3 helpings. I do a little bit at a time, so it doesn't quite melt. And, yeah, it's just in a bowl, nothing fancy, but it's Dole Whip, and it's yummy. Truth be told, I don't think there is actually any real pineapple in Dole Whip. I thought it was just pureed up pineapple and stuff, but I'm finding out as I look at the ingredients of Dole Whip that it really, there's very little fruit in there. I'm not quite sure exactly what it's made out of. I'd have to look it up again. Still tastes good. I'm still going to eat it. When my body, 3,000 years after my death is still calcified and solid, we'll talk about why, but yeah, I haven't had enough Twinkies for that, but we'll see. You called it what? What did you call it? You mean because of the churros? I'm guessing that's what that was about. I love the school bread in Norway. I was surprised because it's not super sweet, but it's just right. No, Drew, you got the school bread when we went. No, you got the lepse. I can't get the school bread. It doesn't look like it's super sweet. A lot of people have said it's not quite as sugary as that, which probably is nice. The only thing I can eat there is the rice cream, which is basically like a rice pudding with strawberries on top. And again, strawberries. If it was cherries, I'd have been happy, but it's strawberries for whatever reason. And it's okay. It's pretty good. If I want to be able to get something in Norway, that's what I can get. I will say, though, when you go into Akershus, which is the restaurant over there, the buffet is very bizarre, but good. Like you can get gravlax, which for those of you who don't know what gravlax is, it's lox, but it's like a special way that they've cured it. But it's basically lox, and it's yummy. You get lox and capers. They don't have bagels and cream cheese, but, they got enough. And you get an entree plus the buffet. So my entree was Swedish meatballs. Gluten-free. Who'd have thought? So I was very excited because even the gravy was great. I was so happy. That made me very, very happy. So that's my Norway thing. No, they do not put the lime in the coconut and drink it all up. There was no coconut with the lime. They put it with Sprite. They put that's what they need is like coconut milk. Okay, all right. This has nothing to do with Disney. This is a restaurant that I went to this past weekend, and I want to see if everyone else thinks that they're just as insane as I am. I ordered a virgin pina colada because I'm not drinking right now. Pina colada shows up at my table, and it's kind of dark. And I look at it, and I take a sip, and I went, this is not a pina colada. And they went, yeah, no, it's pina. No, this is not a pina colada. Pina colada is pineapple and coconut. It's like pineapple juice and coconut milk. Pina colada, pineapple coconut. And I said, this has orange in it. Well, I have issues with orange. Orange juice, for whatever reason, makes me incredibly mucousy. I don't like having it when I'm performing right around this time. So I'm like, this is no. And we start passing it around the table, and everyone's checking it. Well, luckily, one of the other guys at the table really wanted something with pineapple juice and orange juice that was not alcoholic, so we gave it to him. But I was like, no, that's not a pine. Can you find out what's going on? Well, the guy comes back and says, so here's this, taste this one. I went, yeah, that's pina colada. He went, yeah, okay, so that's without the orange juice. I said, why does it have orange juice? He went, well, the pina coladas they make here, they have orange juice. I went, why? What in pina colada says you should have orange juice? Don't get it. Okay, that had absolutely nothing to do with Orlando or Disney. But don't do that. You shouldn't even have to ask. Just don't do it. Okay, back to my story here. Sorry about the diatribe there. My own diet issues, shaggy drool. I wish I could have one, but I'm far better off with tiny little caramel chocolates from the chocolatier than that big old apple. Yeah, well, I mean, you could share the big old apple. I would have shared it with you because the inside of the apple isn't bad. It's all of the goop on the outside. I'm not sure if they're safe for me because I guess mixed where they're made, like different people with stuff. But that would be really tasty. I would, yum. That would be, I've never got one of them. I may have to do that. There is a minor possibility. I'm trying to suss this out with some people I work with, that I might be doing an additional trip to Orlando, to Disney, at the end of next month, just for a weekend. I've never done Food and Wine. I really want to go. It'll be a chance to pre-see Galaxy's Edge if I want to do that, just to get an idea of it. And use the annual pass for a couple more days, because why the heck not? So we're pricing stuff out, and I'm hoping flights aren't going up in price again, but we're looking at trying to suss all that out and hopefully having something happen. I mean, I know a lot of people do like salted caramels, Shaggy. It's on everything. You can't get a caramel without it. I don't mind the option of both, but I can't get the dark chocolate without the salt anywhere down there. And it makes my head spin. It's not fair. I also like the pineapple dipped in chocolate and then covered in caramel. That one's a good one too. And the caramel popcorn at Caramel Couche. I'm not sure if that's the right pronunciation, but I'll go with it. I really like that popcorn. If you get it fresh made there, absolutely incredible. Okay. Yeah, leave me to my preferences. Stop picking on me. You don't mind the salt either, but I get her point that way. About chili flakes and everything. Yep. It's like, hi, here's a lovely piece of, oh dear God, stop, I can't breathe. Because you're not expecting it. And sometimes you just want the item without. Question for next week is already, what did you find out was the true recipe for Dole Whip? All right, I'll have to go look it up. You can actually find it online. Oh, he who loves to hit the internet. It's fun. It's bizarre, but you can actually buy Dole Whip. Like, you can buy bags of the mix. You just have to get the mixer to freeze it. And I was reading all of that stuff. I'm on the fence about Akrashus. I'm very curious for that price. I'm nervous about hating the food. Okay, so they have a mix in Akrashus because since I've done it, of normal foods and funky foods. Most of the stuff was great. Like I said, the lox was lovely. They had some regular cheeses. They had a very bizarre funky cheese. Like it felt kind of like cheese in slices that I would not recommend. And there was at least one meat that I went after I tried it. But they had like Italian salamis types of things, but Norwegian versions. The lox, they had a salad. They had a tomato salad. They had all kinds of normal things you would find at a food buffet. And actually, I would have been happy just to eat the buffet. And then on top of that, you get an entree. The Swedish meatballs, I think they had a roasted chicken. They've got, things that are going to be good for kids too. When you go in, you are introduced to Belle, because I guess she's the premier princess at that particular location. And then you sit at your table, and as you're eating, you are introduced in walk-bys with Ariel, Snow White, Cinderella. Jasmine's not here. Jasmine's over at Cinderella's royal table. Who is the other princess? And Sleeping Beauty, Aurora. And then at some point, if you have little kids, you get to do a little march through. The kids get to do a little parade with all the princesses and make a big deal out of that. I just had some lovely chats with them. I thanked Cinderella for having a backbone, because people don't realize she had one. We just kind of go from there. All right, here where we going. But yeah, I think you'd find a good solid meal there. It's like Wendy's. Frosty is not made with dairy. Yeah. Well, I mean, and neither is the Dole Whip. It's a non-dairy. It's vegan. It's perfectly fine for people doing that. They're out of orange juice because they were out of Clamato. They added orange juice because, ew, Drew, you're awful. Ew, I know it took me this long to get here, but blah. No, pina coladas do not get Clamato either. Ew, bad, Drew, no biscuit. That's it. I'm throwing you in the next set of videos too. Okay. Food and Wine is awesome. Really looking forward to going back to that now, staying within walking distance. Yeah. I mean, and that's one of the things I'm trying to do. The Skyliner is opening next week, at the end of a week and a half from now, on the 29th to the public. So I'm looking at some of the properties that would connect you to that. It will not run in the really bad rainstorms, so there's no guarantee if you go there that you get to ride it, but we'll see what happens. Thank you for the hugs, Angela. I appreciate it. I've gotten Ariel, but none of the other princesses. You've got, oh, you mean like you did a meet and greet? Yeah, they all come to your table. They all chat with you. It's very nice. It's a lot of fun. I quite enjoyed that one. The dinner. Oh, I'm Shaggy. I'm assuming you're talking about Akrashus as well. Here you go. Frozen pineapple chunks, 2 bananas peeled and sliced, coconut milk, sweetened condensed milk, pineapple slices for garnish, maraschino cherries for garnish. What the hell is that? Is that adult? I can take peppermint schnapps, but not with pineapple juice. Oh my God, will you stop being so evil? Clamato, give it some vodka. Fine. Have a Bloody Mary. Pineapple, peppermint schnapps with some chocolate, hot chocolate, or something. Fine. It's a fabulous thing. Don't put them in pineapple juice. You're a cruel and evil, evil man. Ouch. Okay. Okay, so that was another Dole Whip. That is not what's in the bags. That's not what Dole itself sells as Dole Whip. I'll have to look it up. It's when you actually can buy, like if you go to Amazon to buy the bag of Dole Whip, they sometimes share the recipe. Beef Amato, y'all are sick. Okay. So as of this moment, we are at about 30 minutes, 31 minutes. Those were actually the formal questions that I had for today. So I'll just leave it open for a couple more minutes just to see what other questions you guys have, or if you want to talk more about Clamato juice. Clamato, what's a Clamato with you? Sorry, that was bad. That was really bad. I apologize profusely with a big smile on my face. But I do still have the Renfest recap that I've got to get written up and posted. I'm in editing phase right now, finishing that up. And hey, I got a show to do tomorrow, so I have to get some sleep. What do we got here? What's the best drink I've had at Walt Disney World? I am assuming you mean alcoholic. Well, the most memorable, and I'll have to decide if this was actually my favorite, but the most memorable has to be Flying Fish. Drew, you were with me. And I got, what is he saying about Clamato again? That's my response to you, Drew. Thank you. Opal. No, Opus. So they had a rare wine section in Flying Fish. The fancy, $150 to $5,000 a bottle wines, and they would do single ounce pours. So for the cost of a regular glass of average wine, $17 for Disney, I got an ounce of Opus One. Now I was driving that night, so just having a little bit of alcohol as my treat to myself was no big deal. So that's what I ordered, and we got it, and it was raisiny. Now, for those of you who don't drink wine a lot, raisiny wines tend to mean they were pulled too late from the vine. They're too old. The grapes were too old when they were pulled. There was something wrong with them. And I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I never spent real money on this, that now I've tasted it and I'm okay with this. This is done. This is good. Bye. I'm glad. And everyone at the table tried a little bit and we all went, yeah, not so good. So the waitress came back and she's like, how was the wine? We went, well, we're actually kind of happy because we didn't like it. It was, and I explained the flavor was raisiny, and that's, so I'm really glad that I got to try it for as cheaply as I got to try it. But that was something. She went, oh, okay. She walked away, didn't think anything of it. About 5 minutes later, she comes back and she's pouring water or something, and she goes, oh, by the way, we have a magic moment for you. The sommelier said it shouldn't have tasted like that. We're giving you another pour. Okay. So I got a second ounce for free of Opus One. Yeah, it was an old bottle. You could tell. Because, wow, what a difference. Not even a slight difference, like, oh dear God, what a difference. It was multi-layered, and the flavor was adjusting as you drank it, and it opened, because I wasn't going to guzzle it. I was going to take my time with it, and even just in that little time, it opened and adjusted and changed. It was fabulous. So, yeah, that was probably my most memorable beverage at Disney. Hold on, dropped my phone, and she's back. Sorry, I know you were sick. Sorry, honey. The first one was free because it was crap. Yeah, the second one was really, really extraordinary. Okay, so yes, you have gotten the response from me before, Drew. Other than that, I'm trying to think of like the drinks I've really liked. I got a really good mule over at the Wave. I was surprised at how much I liked the pina colada over at the Polynesian with rum. Some woman had been given one this past trip for whatever reason that she didn't necessarily really want. They gave her the wrong drink, and then she just had this other drink. And she gifted it to my friend Randy, and then Randy shared it with me and his wife, and I had a sip of that, and that was actually quite lovely. Really enjoyed that. Crepe, because it was Scottish, yeah. Huh? I've not had the Lapu Lapu. I've seen the Lapu Lapu. The Lapu Lapu is like a damn pineapple. It's a damn pineapple. So you get the pineapple. Now, I'm not sure if you can actually eat the insides of the pineapple when you're done. I would like ask for a spoon so you could get that. But it's like 5 different rums, and it's pretty potent from what I've been told. I mean, I tend to do a lot of wines. Oh no. Okay, tempting Tigress, Tiffins Lounge. It is a bourbon Manhattan type of drink, but with a warming. They adjust some of the ingredients, so it has sort of a warming energy to it, with some orange in there. And fresh orange, I'm okay with more than like the juices and stuff, but that was kind of fabulous. I know Tiffin's Nomads, it's the same thing. I know, I love Nomads Lounge. Gluten-free churros. Gluten-free churros. Okay. The saute was pretty good too. The poutine, while I liked it, I think is what screwed my system up when I ate there. I think my intestines do not like the mushroom gravy on the poutine that they have, which is gluten-free and vegetarian, but it doesn't like me. Well, all right. If you cannot drink alcohol, Shaggy, I will tell you this: at the lounge, they do these wonderful refreshers that are either watermelon juice or strawberry juice with Sprite, and that's what my 2 cohorts got the first day we were there. Oh my goodness, it was so lovely, and with the heat of Orlando, it was like bright and light and refreshing, and it was marvelous. It was really, really lovely. Yeah. Get there at the beginning, get there at 11, and stake out one of those really amazing loungy places, and then order something to eat and eat it and get a drink, and then order something else. You know, they're small plates. They're not cheap small plates, but they're small plates. The ribs, I think, are supposed to be pretty good. Like I said, the churros are amazing. I, by myself, ordered 2 helpings of churros during the last trip because, God, they're so good. And I think, and it's like 6 churros in a thing. And I think I might have let my cohorts have like 1.5. I ate all the rest. But it's so rare for me to be able to get something bready and wonderful when I'm out. And that's one of the things I adore about being in Orlando, is with an allergy. They cater so beautifully to help you out, even the non-normal restaurants. The other drink I really, really liked, see, now I'm going to do all of them, Homecoming, which is Disney Springs. And it's not technically a Disney property. It's Art Smith's restaurant. And it is lavender syrup. I think it's another bourbon-based drink. It's got a piece of rosemary in it. But it's, oh God, it was so good. It was, now I have to look it up. It was so yummy. Homecoming drinks Orlando. This is, yeah, here we go. This is really great content, isn't it? I want to see if I can find Homecoming Kitchen. There we go. Loading. And I want drinks. Menu. Main menu. Brunch menu. Bar menu. All right. So it was Honey Lavender is the name of it. Yes. Pardon me. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. It is fresh strawberries and raspberries muddled with rosemary, lavender vodka, blackberry jam, lemon juice, and honey syrup. And it wasn't stupidly sweet. Oh my God, this was good. So it was a vodka drink. I thought it was a bourbon drink. I didn't get the fig and berries. Yeah, I didn't do that one. Didn't do the old fashioned. Yeah, the honey lavender. And it was so good. And I had had such a crappy week prior to that, that the really sweet manager got me a second drink of it because he liked me. I've done an hour and a half to 2 hours actually at Tiffins. You won't spend an entire afternoon, but if you plan it like you're doing a meal and taking your time, yeah, a couple hours is nice. And that nice morning break. My concern is as you get later in the day, it's going to start to get more crowded and you can't find one of those really cool tables. I've not done going there in the early evening, which I think would be beautiful. Just, as the light's starting to fade and stuff would be really kind of nice. But it is good. Yeah, I can eat churros all day too, Shaggy. I could, oh my God. If I didn't, and we were supposed to go to Sanaa for lunch, like an hour and a half later, or not necessarily even. So, yeah, and I still had 2 orders. It was my breakfast, late breakfast. It was really, really good. Yeah, that sounds good. Should I get started? I have to say this is not extravagant and not alcoholic, but the flipping tea service at Victorian Alberts. Oh, no, you're talking about the Grand Floridian tea, Drew. Is that what you're talking about? That's actually in the tea. Oh, no, you are talking about the tea service at Victorian Alberts. Okay, so Victorian Alberts, they have this incredible distillation machine that they bring to your table, where it comes with a bowl at top and a bowl at the bottom, and they put the tea in the top with a little screen, and then at the bottom is water, and then they put a sterno underneath it, like a Bunsen burner, like science, and it starts to heat and then it starts to steam, and it starts to steam and go up the tube. And when it gets to the top of the tube, because it's got air up there, it's cooler, it turns back into water. So all the steam, and it boils up and it boils up and it boils up and it boils up, and it's now bubbling up here with the tea. And then they turn the heat off, and then it just cools and it all drops back down, completely filtered tea. And they do it with coffee as well. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize it came with her. I would have just gotten tea just so I could watch it, because that was so cool. But yeah, Drew got lots of tea that night. They were very nice to him. They were very, very nice to him. Yeah, that was lovely for tea. No, universal drinks. Let me think about that. All right. I think that is going to be it for tonight, guys, because I think I'm hearing something in the other room that I need to go check on. So, yeah. So, save your questions for next time. We will catch up again. I appreciate, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye.